Hey lovelies, it's Alexa with Blue Woods Design and Mixed Media Arts School, and today's Monday prompt project for the week is monochromatic. And I actually made various monochromatic little collages. So I'm starting with some cardboard pieces and some flashcards, and then I grabbed scraps in various colors. So each card or cardboard piece will become its own little monochromatic art collage thing. Now, these, when they are finished, will be able to be used for all kinds of stuff. So I could use them as tags. I could create art right on top of them, and then the background is already ready. I could put little quotes on them. There's all kinds of stuff you could do. And again, the concept is grabbing your supplies that fall into that same color category. And notice, like, there's a little bit of green on that one, and one is a little more orangey tinted on that yellow thing. So it doesn't have to be 100% true, all that same color. You're just looking for the various shades, tints, the wide range you can get in that color, and then putting them all together. And sometimes at first it feels like they don't go even, because if they're different tones or something, it can feel like contrasting. I noticed that particularly with my greens, right? Like I noticed that some of them felt a little more like of a dull green or a dirty green, right? Like an olive green, and then some felt very bright. But by the end of it, when you just collage and collage and collage, it starts to really come together and it looks beautiful all together. But at first, if you are overthinking it, it can feel like, ooh, I don't know if these go. And what you really want to do, so the way I grabbed my supplies is I went through all of my scraps and I just picked a color that I was focused on, and I grabbed anything that sort of had that color. Now, if I'm doing like this one is kind of a tealy blue color, but I did grab some that had more true blue, and then some that have even like a little green, like that one tag sitting off to the side there. And you'll notice that as I'm going, all of this is kind of intuitive. I'm not planning it out. I do know the composition that I like, so I know I like to cluster like my collage and leave a little bit of space to breathe with the whatever the background is. And I really kind of just trust my gut. I start layering it and keep going, keep going. I do like to make sure I can see all the bits. However, there are times that it is okay to cover up parts of the collage. And the thing is, sometimes we get a little hung up on keeping something in our background. And that is actually an applicable rule for anything, art journaling, creating art in general. You really have to be able to be like, okay with the fact that there might be this little scrap you love that you place down, but you end up covering it. It's okay. My one of my favorite artists, Sean Petit, she always says you have to be willing to let go of the background to let the piece become what it's supposed to become. And that, I live by that, right? Like, so you might end up covering up a piece, and that's okay. You might only see the tiniest bit of it peeking out. Don't worry. Just kind of keep layering till you love what you see. You will also notice that some of these have little tags or little inchy squares with sewn bits on them. Like there's one sitting right below my card right there. I made those earlier this year in a Monday prompt project, and I will link that as well so that you can see how I made those, because those are also little collage bits. And that one I didn't do based on color, but when I was looking at my collage bits, there are some that kind of fall into a color category. So I added them to it. What I love about it is they were an easy grab, and they have a little sewn area on them, and it just adds some interest. So creating these types of things end up adding to your stash of things you can grab and then build on. So, right, like I built those inchies and tags a long time ago, but I still have a huge collection of them from that. And then now I'm making these monochromatic backgrounds and I'm adding it to it. So I'm just adding these layers of textures and interest by having things ready to go and then being able to add them to something else. Now, these, what I'm going to do with them, I will probably be putting some sort of black and white faces on them with like a quote or something, and turn them into tags, maybe tuck them into journals, that sort of thing. I could even actually glue them down into a journal page and make them sort of the focal piece. So this like it becomes like almost like this big inception of things, right? Like I made these tiny inchies and now I'm putting them onto a collage, and then I'm going to take that collage and add it to an art journal that has a whole background and stuff. But when you take just one part of that process, like that whole thing, which is right now just creating these backgrounds of color, it's amazing. It like takes some of the guesswork out of it later, right? Like when you're looking for a focal piece or something, you have these little collagey bits that you can do. I also think it's a great exercise in kind of exploring the idea of just layering without thinking. And it frees you up to be really just kind of open to the process. It's really fun. And you actually find some colors that you're like, see this green one? By the end of it, I'm liking how all these colors work together. But at first, there were a couple that I was like, oh, that one's kind of a weird version of the green, but it didn't really work. But it does in the end. So I will be making some stuff with these this week, and I will make sure to post some reels on my personal page. Make sure you join our Facebook group. If you create with us, use the hashtag Monday Prompt Project, and also check out our resident artist, Renee. She has created a blue monochromatic piece of art for you guys to inspire you this week, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. Share away, tag us, let us see what you create. And if you create some of these backgrounds, I cannot wait to see what colors you chose and what your collage backgrounds turn out to be. All right, guys, until next week, I will see you later.